pretty good breeze blowing from right field to left field, and we'll see how that affects these two teams tonight as Ryan Eads takes his final warm-up pitches, and we bring in our color analyst for the night, Patrick Coogan. And Patrick, Ryan Eads, we saw last year really get stronger as the season went along, as both Coach Dunn and Coach Maneri talked about in the pregame, and is poised to have a really, really big sophomore year.
Yeah, you know, after that injury in high school, they had to ease him into the pitching rotation last year and kind of let him build the stamina. You know, this year, or last summer, he went away to the Cape Cod League and had an outstanding, really splash on the scene in college baseball, and now they're looking for big things out of him in his sophomore year.
You ever pitch in a Cape?
I did not. I pitched in the Jayhawk League and the Central Illinois League, but never pitched in the Cape.
What's the summer league? Just a thumbnail on what it's like pitching up in one of those leagues.
It's a little bit different. You know, I mean, you're playing with a lot of guys you're unfamiliar with, and you really just up there to gobble up innings and maybe develop a secondary pitch.
It'll be Jackson Powell and Gonzalez to lead it off against Ryan Eads. Jackson from the right side was 3 for 5 in the opener, and he takes the first pitch for a strike, and we're underway. The first pitch is brought to you by AT&T. Get it faster with 4G. Rethink possible. Ryan Eads into the windup and the 0-1. Fastball strike on the other edge, the outside edge, and it is 0-2. Getting started a little bit late because of the weather, but we're glad that you're with us. Here's the 0-2. Strike three call. Fastball burned off the outside corner, and a 3-pitch strikeout for Eads to open up. And that'll bring up Joshua Powell, who was a perfect 4 for 4, including a double and a triple and 3 runs batted in, plus a walk in Alcorn's season opener. He bats from the right side with the bases empty and 1 down. Eads winds and delivers. Fastball, strike, filling up the zone early, and it's 0-1. Defensively for LSU, Rafe Rhymes is in left, Jones in center, and Katz in right. Hanover at third, Nola at short, Yoakum at second, Moore at first, Ross behind the plate, and Eads on the mound delivers a change that is low. 1 ball and 1 strike. We play at 3:30 down the lines here at the box. 365 to the power alleys and 405 to straightaway center field. Now the 1-1 from Eads. Sliced foul just over the LSU dugout. Everybody got a duck. And it's 1-2. That's one of those dangerous foul balls that gets just past the net with a lot of velocity, and you really gotta be heads up. Luckily that doesn't appear to have hit anybody. Eads winds. Here's a 1-2. Inside with a fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You know, a lot of similarities between Eads and Gossman from last night. They've both got that prototypical right-handed pitcher frame, being 6'3", 6'4" type guys, and really throw a dominant fastball.
2-2 on the way. This one is fouled away first base side up near the suites, and the count stays at 2-2.
You can tell the life on the fastball from Eads is that's 2 balls now that Powell's been extremely late on and fouled off, extremely foul down the right field line.
Now the 2-2. Strike three called. Fastball on the outside corner. That's the same pitch he struck out Jackson with. Same location. And a couple of looking strikeouts here for Eads to open. That'll bring up Eduardo Gonzalez. He was 0 for 4 in the first game. In that first game, Alcorn fell behind 5-0, but got 7 runs to win it 7-5. Pitch to the right-hander, fouled away down the right field side. This one's up over the bleachers and into the light standard. Got to thank the fans that hung in there with us today. We got a crowd of probably somewhere between, 1,000 and 1,500. The 0-1 is fouled back up over the roof, and it's 0-2. And Patrick, that's more than a lot of people draw for, regular weekend games during conference season in some of the smaller conferences, and you got to really hand it to these guys who hung in with us during a very bad weather day. The 0-2, strike three called, checked his swing, and he had something to say to the umpire on the way back to the dugout, but Eads strikes out the side, and that will do it for the top of the first inning. Alcorn nothing. LSU coming to bat here on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Alcorn went in order in the first. LSU coming to bat: Hanover, Yoakum, and Rafe Rhymes. Don't miss the online talk show Tiger Talk, presented by TJ Ribs. Tiger Talk can be found exclusively in the Go Zone on LSUsports.net. The 6th edition is currently available and features LSU pitching coach Alan Dunn. Tiger Talk, presented by TJ Ribs, available at LSUsports.net. And as the official bank of LSU Sports, Capital One Bank is extremely proud to cheer on the beloved Tigers in every game and every sport from the entire Capital One family. Go Tigers! Capital One Bank, the official bank of LSU Athletics. Got Eads at 94 on the gun here in the first inning on a what is now a chilly night here at Alec Box Stadium. And Troy Williams, the senior right-hander, finishes his final warm-up tosses, and Tyler Hanover comes to the plate. Hanover was 0 for 3 last night, but walked and was hit by a pitch and scored both of the times that he reached. A little brief meeting of the infielders at the mound, and now we're ready to go. Hanover from the right side against the righty, Troy Williams. 6'2", 205 pounds, out of Chicago is the pitcher, and the first pitch is up and in, ball 1. Tigers got 5 runs in the first inning last night. Scored a run before they got a hit. Here's a 1-0. That hit him. That's the second night in a row that's happened, that Hanover has been hit by a pitch to open the Tiger first. Last night's hit him in the foot. This one hit him in the square of the back. Hanover in a game and an at-bat is probably leading the nation in hit by pitch. And I'll bring up Casey Yoakum, who was also hit by a pitch last night in the first inning. He was 1 for 3, scored a couple of runs, had a double, and drove in one. Right-handed batter. Pitch from Jackson is Williams is way up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Bill Davis coaching at first base for LSU. Palmineri down in the third base box. There's a 1-0. That is a strike at the belt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bottom of the first, no score. Hanover at first base, nobody out. Williams a long look in. Now he comes set. Here's a 1-1. That's a strike at the knees, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hanover hit by a pitch to open the inning. Throw over to first and Hanover back.
You mentioned Williams being about 6'2". It's exaggerated a little bit by the fact he wears his pants a little bit high and his leggings pulled up high as well.
The 1-2 is a tapper past the mound. Second baseman bobbles it and cannot pick it up. Everybody will be safe, and that will be an error. I think he was thinking too.
Absolutely. It's a case of him trying to turn the double play before he ever receives the ball. Took his eye off the ball and caused him to bobble it, and both runners end up safe.
He was going to have a hard time turning too, even if he had fielded it cleanly. He had time to get Hanover. Yoakum runs fairly well. I don't think they would have been able to turn too, but now LSU's got him at first and second with nobody out for Rafe Rhymes.
Yeah, ideally that's a ball he charges and throws over to first and forgets about the double play.
Rhymes from the right side, Williams from the stretch. The pitch is up and in, ball 1. Rhymes was 1 for 2 last night, scored a couple runs, walked twice. He was in left field last night. Excuse me, he was in right field last night. He's in left field tonight. Here's a 1-0. We'll tapper towards third. It will go to the bag at third for the force out, and that'll be it. Akins forces Hanover. Fielder's choice 5 unassisted, and there's 1 gone. Here's Mason Katz, the right fielder. He was at first base last night, 0 for 2, but walked and scored a run last night. Yoakum at second, Rhymes at first. Here's a pitch. That's a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Williams, double look back at second base. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball, strike on the inside edge. It buckled Katz's knees a little bit.
Second, that we saw that a little bit last night where they throw that slider right at Katz's front hip and it locks him up a little bit. That's something that he'll have to start working on.
Now the 0-2. Swing and a miss. A little tip, but it landed in Loop's glove. So first strikeout for Williams, and after allowing the first two guys to get on, well, the second one with an error. Got a chance to get out of this. He's got to deal with Jacoby Jones. Jones 1 for 4 last night, scored a run, drove in 2. And this one is hit foul past the bag at first.
I think one of the things that the LSU offense has identified, not only from them hitting, but when Eads was pitching the first at home plate umpire, Myron Miller's got a little bit of a extended strike zone out there on the outside half of the plate, something that they've got to be aware of and put the ball into play if it's delivered out there.
Catcher setting up out there again. Here's the 0-1. Strike, caught the outside corner. Came probably a little bit further inside than Loop was expecting. He kind of reached back with the glove there a little bit. I think he wanted that one a little bit further outside, but it worked out as Jones took it for a strike. 0-2 now to the Tigers center fielder. Here's a pitch. Ground ball, and that is in the right field for a base hit. They will wave Yoakum around. Here comes the throw to the plate, and it is high. Williams backing up, but that will allow Jones to go to second base. Williams, the pitcher, came right to him, backing up about 15 feet behind the plate. He had no chance to get an RBI single for Jones. It's 1-0 Tigers.
Well, something that we saw last night, it just happened again tonight, was Jacoby Jones gets a base hit, RBI to the base hit to right field. Recognizes the fact that the right fielder misses the relay man and extends it all the way to second base. So nice job of reading that throw by Jacoby Jones.
So now runners at second and third with 2 out, and that's the second consecutive night that Jones has a 2-out RBI hit.
Yeah, now with 2 outs and Austin Nola at the plate, you've got 2 runners in scoring position.
Nola was 2 for 4 last night. Here's the pitch. That's high and away, ball 1.
Yeah, that changes the complexion of an at-bat so much so that not only is there another guy in scoring position, but takes a force play out of the situation here. Should an infielder knock a ball down in the hole?
Nola scored a run last night and drove in 2. The 0-1 is the 1-0 is a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Had a double. LSU had 3 extra base hits last night, all of them doubles. Rhymes at third, Jones at second, 2 down. Here's a 1-1. Strike on the outside corner, and it's 1-2. Myron Miller has been consistently wide. It's a big strike zone out there. No problem with that as long as he calls it consistently. Here's a 1-2. And, well, I'll tell you what, they thought they had strike 3 right there. Loop was on his way to the dugout, and Miller says he'd missed 2 balls and 2 strikes. But I got to tell you, Patrick, that pitch looked like it was the same place that the previously was.
Williams did hit the mitt there, but you know, there's only so much the catcher can go off the plate, and right there, even though he hit the mitt, that was a little bit too exaggerated.
The 2-2 is low, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. No, I don't think it was a strike either. I'm just saying that it was where he called the previous strike. Like I said, he's got a liberal strike zone wide tonight. So now a 3-2 offering due the Tiger shortstop. Payoff pitch. Sliced it foul down the right field side over the bleachers. And we'll do it again. Jones off second, Rhymes off third. Williams comes set, payoff pitch. Way outside, gets past the catcher. Rhymes is coming to the plate, and he will be safe just under the tag of Williams covering the plate. It's a walk and a wild pitch, and LSU has a 2-0 lead. Jones moves up to third. The Tigers have taken advantage of their opponent's mistakes here in the first two games. Did a real good job of making Air Force pay for the hit batsman and the walks last night in the first two innings. Now here's Tyler Moore making his collegiate debut from the left side. First pitch is bounced up the middle, and it is going to be fielded by the shortstop behind. The bag throw is high, and he is safe. It was a big chopper, and Rosa had to field that ball way behind the bag. Had to put some mustard on that throw and threw it high, and Moore reaches. It's 3-0.
A little lackadaisical as he went over there to field it. I don't know if he thought the second baseman would cover for the force play, but he looked up and decided he needed to go to first and pulled the first baseman off the bag with a high throw.
The error on Rosa is the second of the inning on Alcorn. Jones scores. It's 3-0. And here's Ty Ross, 2 for 3 last night. Takes a strike at the knees, 0-1.
We had
Austin Noel at second base.
We had a number of miscues last night by Air Force, and tonight we've got a hit by pitch and 2 errors that LSU is the beneficiary of.
Nola off second. Moore off first. Here's the 0-1. That missed down and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Eads is getting up to stay limber. That was something that Gosman had to work through last night. Was some very long at-bats for LSU in the first 2 innings. Now the 1-1. Missed down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Hanover was hit by a pitch to open the inning, then an error on the second baseman, a fielder's choice, a strikeout, a base hit, a walk, and another error. 3 runs across for LSU. And runners at first and second with 2 down. Here's a 2-1. Foul back into the screen. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ty Ross 2 for 4 last night with a RBI and a walk. Williams comes set. Here's a 2-2. Down low, and the count is full. The runners will be off with the pitch.
You know, with this prolonged inning here, and Eads, staying loose down the sideline over there. The one thing he's got to contend with tonight that Gosman didn't was a little bit cooler temperatures.
Payoff pitch to Ross, and this one is popped up. Shallow right field. Now, this is a long run for Powell. First baseman, in fact, will call him off Gonzalez and make the catch in short right, and that will retire the side. But the Tigers get 3 runs on only 1 hit. There were 2 errors and 2 men left. We've played 3-0 Tigers on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Warren, Butler, and Rosa, 4, 5, and 6 in the Alcorn order, due up. Every day your car takes care of you, so take care of it. Don't use low-quality gasoline that can leave crud in your engine. Use the gas that cleans. Chevron with Techron Care for your car. And Budweiser is the official beer of the thirst inning. Great times are on deck, so grab some Buds. Eads struck out the side in the first inning, all of them looking. Here's Rodney Warren, the DH. Warren was 0 for 3 in the first game, scored a run. From the right side against the righty, Ryan Eads. The windup and the pitch. Fastball strike on the outside corner, 0-1. That's the pitch that has worked for him through 3 batters. He's gotten call strike 3 different times with it. Here's the 0-1. Took something off that time, but it's a strike right down the middle, and it's 0-2.
First thing you notice about Warren is his stature. He kind of got a Prince Fielder kind of look to him, and also how close he is to the plate.
The 0-2 is a little tapper up the third base side. They're going to let it roll, and it will finally roll foul just a few feet in front of the bag. Even with Warren's girth, he was going to beat that out if it had stayed fair, because Hanover was way back, and that was just a little roller up the front side. Warren is listed at 6 foot 245, and no, he is bigger than that. He is considerably bigger than that.
And his back foot is almost out of the batter's box.
The 0-2 swing and a miss. Missed it badly on a pitch down and away. And Eads has 4 consecutive strikeouts now to open this ball game, and that is the first one of the swinging variety. And that'll bring up Jan Butler. Butler, the left fielder, was 1 for 4 with a run scored in the first game. Bats from the left side. First pitch from Eads, and that hit him. It hit him on the arm, it looked like. Not real hard, just kind of grazed it, but it did hit him coming up, and that's the first left-handed batter that he's had to face, and he's been working down and away with that first pitch strike. Tried to come inside to Butler and hit him.
I think that one was of the cotton variety there, Charlie.
Yeah, probably just hit a shirt sleeve, but that counts. Is Angel Rosa. Rosa 1 for 2 with a run scored and a walk in the first game. From the right side, here's a pitch, fastball high, 1 ball and no strikes. Patrick, we know about the 94, 95 mile an hour heater, and last night we saw Gosman compliment that with the curveball. A little bit about Eads' off-speed stuff after this 1-0 pitch. Here it comes. That was a fastball strike, 1-1.
You know, he hasn't shown much of his off-speed pitches yet. He did on the swing and strike out there to lead off this inning, but the off-speed pitch that I've seen so far is a nice hard slider like Gosman threw last year, which is going to be hard to pick up because he's such a over-the-top, hard-throwing righty that he's going to throw his slider off that pitch, and it's going to be tough for these guys to pick up on it.
And we've seen a fastball with good life on it here in the early going. Here's a 1-1. That is a little bit low, 2 balls and a strike.
But not only good life, but we've seen it good life and well commanded so far.
Runner at first base, 1 down, 3-0 Tigers, top of the second. Here's a 2-1. Fly ball into shallow left center field. Jones coming on will make the call and the catch. And there's 2 gone. Lazy fly ball to shallow left center. And that'll bring up Antolin Morales, the second baseman. Morales was 0 for 2 with a run scored in the first game. He walked twice. Short lead over at first, but Eads will throw over anyway, and that one was nicely saved there by Moore as he had his glove pinned up against the runner's leg because that's where the ball was. Eads comes set. Here's a pitch. Fastball right down the middle, 0-1.
Yeah, one of the things that you see, and I'm sure is an influence of pitching coach Alan Dunn because of his time in the professional game, is that you don't ever see the pitcher leave the pitcher's mound, leave the dirt. You know, they get the ball and they're right back on the rubber and looking into the catcher's signals. You know, it really picks up the tempo and allows them to really get locked into their mechanics and complete the pitches that they want to execute.
You ever run across a pitching coach after you left LSU that wanted you to be more deliberate? Here goes the runner. The 0-1 is a strike. Throw down to second base is in time. He got him. Save that thought for the next inning as Ty Ross throws out Jan Butler trying to steal. For the Braves in the second, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the bottom half, 3-0 Tigers on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Tigers lead at 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Dozar, Hanover, and Yoakum 9-1 and 2 in the order. Due up. If you want to get your business in front of thousands of LSU fans, you can get information on advertising in the official LSU Game Day programs and the 2012 Football Fan Guide. Call LSU Sports Properties 578-7571. Print advertising opportunities offered in various packages. 225-578-7571 for more details. Grant Dozar to lead it off. Dozar got into the game last night in a reserve role and went 0 for 1. First pitch to him is outside. Last season, Dozar hit .250, started 17 games, homered twice, and drove in 9. The 1-0, that's a strike on the outside edge, and it's 1-1. Dozar is going to fill a role on this team that does not have a lot of left-handed bats. The 1-1 is lined up the middle for a base hit. So the senior from Morgan City. Gets the base hit here to open the second. Back to the top of the order for Hanover, who was hit by a pitch in the first and later erased on a fielder's choice. Tigers got 3 in the first with only 1 hit. Couple of Alcorn errors helped them out. Pitch to Hanover. That's down and away, and a nice save by Loop. 1-0. All right, back to that question. You ever have run across a pitching coach that taught that deliberate style, you know, slow things up, break rhythm, that kind of thing?
Not really. I mean, yes and no. I mean, they want you to be deliberate with your mechanics and be under control. As there's a pickoff attempt over at first base. Dozark's back safely. But, they want you to be deliberate with your mechanics so they become very repeatable and you can stay a consistent release point. But, no, they want you back on the rubber and deliver another pitch to keep your fielders in the game.
Here's a 1-0, ground ball. Base hit to right field. A hit and run working as Dozark took off with the pitch, and he will go to third. And the Tigers have got him at the corners with nobody out. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the LSU Sports Radio Network. 3-0 Tigers as Casey Yoakum comes to the plate. He reached on an error and scored in the first. Not virtually, every coach that's come through LSU has taught that style, and I would say most pitching coaches do. There are some coaches out on the West Coast that will remain nameless that will have their pitchers, just flat out delay throwing the ball as long as they can, it seems like a lot of times. I've never really got why that was a good strategy, but there are some that do it. Here's a pitch, and it is a bunt attempt, and it's popped up foul. That'll go into the LSU dugout.
I believe that you're required to teach that type of baseball if the first 2 words in your school is Cal State blank.
I wasn't even getting to them. It was
Not
let's just say somebody in
Hey.
the Pacific time zone. Swing and a miss to Yoakum. It's 0-2. I just never thought it was a good way to keep your team in the game. There have been some really good pitchers that have employed that strategy. The 0-2, that's high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And didn't one of those coaches move into the Southeastern Conference this year?
I never. He's not the main culprit. The main culprit, I'm gonna just. Well, he's not in the game anymore, so it doesn't even matter. He was the primary culprit of that particular strategy, but there were more than one on the West Coast. Most of the SEC guys don't do that. Here's a pitch, foul back into the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Casey Yoakum. Runners at the corners, nobody out. LSU already leads at 3-0, bottom of the second. Now the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Looked like a high change there a little bit as Yoakum was fooled. Second strikeout for Williams. And there's 1 gone for Rafe Rhymes. Rhymes reached on a fielder's choice and scored back in the first.
It's a good job of pitching there by Williams. Sometimes you really want to try to pitch to contact to let your defense do the work behind you, but there's situations like that with men on the corner and nobody out where a strikeout is big. Now you leave yourself with a double play potential to get yourself out of the inning. So nice job of setting himself up here by Williams.
First pitch to Rhymes is lined in the right center field for a base hit. Hanover on his way to third. He will go in there sliding. Rhymes takes a big turn and then scampers back to first. It is a 4-0 ball game on the RBI single by Rafe Rhymes.
Rhymes did a nice job with going where the pitch was thrown and giving the LSU offense back at first and third with 1 more runner in.
So Dozar comes around to score after the leadoff single. 3 hits in the inning now for LSU, and that will draw a visit from, I think that's David Gomez, the pitching coach. That's Barrett Ray? Okay. He's got a jacket on, so I can't see a number. Barrett Ray, who did pitched his college ball at Southern University for Coach Roger Cador. Yep, now he's turning around. Not real good at identifying guys with the back of the head and the jacket on. Here's Mason Katz, who struck out swinging his first time up. Runners at the corners and 1 out. 4-0 Tigers, bottom 2. The pitch to Katz. It stays high, ball 1. Runners take their leads. Rhymes over at first. Here's the 1-0. This one is hit very well to center field. Jackson is going back, still going back, and he makes a running catch on the warning track. That will score the run, and it is a 5-0 ball game. Katz gave it a ride, but Jackson tracked it down just shy of the wall. It is a 5-0 ball game.
That was just, one of those just missed pitches there by Katz as he gets under just a little bit, although it did get up in the wind as the wind's blowing from right to left here and probably pushed it a little bit further, but nice job of getting the runner in from third base with less than 2 outs.
And that'll bring up Jacoby Jones, who had an RBI single his first time up. 5-0 Tigers. Runner at first base, 2 down. Here's the pitch. This one is hit to left field. Butler got a late start, but comes in now and will make the catch, and that will retire the side. But LSU gets 2 more runs on 3 hits. There were no errors and 1 left. We go to the third. 5-0 Tigers on the LSU Sports Radio Network. 7, 8, and 9 in the order due up against Ryan Eads. Tiger fans earn a free night this spring when you stay 3 separate times at Best Western Hotels in Louisiana. Visit bestwesternlouisiana.com/spring for more details. And the Louisiana Lottery is a proud sponsor of LSU Athletics. Louisiana Lottery Corporation is celebrating 20 years of winning numbers. And Verizon, 4G LTE, America's largest 4G LTE network and the official wireless provider of the LSU Tigers. Reminder that tomorrow's game has been pushed back an hour and will be a 2 o'clock start with a 1:30 pregame, as Air Force and Alcorn will play tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Come out early. Admission is free. And then we'll be here for the 3rd game of LSU season as they take on Air Force. Morales was at the plate when Butler was caught stealing, so he gets a fresh count. From the right side, first pitch from Eads is up and in, ball 1. Again, Morales was 0 for 2 in the first game. Scored a run and walked twice. Here's a 1-0. This one is lined into right field, and that is going to get down for a base hit. Just barely out of the reach of a diving Mason Katz. Katz gave it all he had, and the best thing he did about that one, Patrick, was after he dove and the ball hit the ground, he was able to keep it from going past him.
Yeah, he's so athletic. He picked it on the short hop there and
on his face.
Yeah, and he even tried to sell it to the umpires there as a catch, and they were having none of it. But nice athletic play there. We've seen him, especially last year, make a couple of those diving stops.
I'll bring up Ryan Akins, the third baseman. He was 0 for 2 last night from the right side. And the first pitch is a strike on the outside edge, 0-1. Now, last night, Patrick, we saw in the middle innings, Gosman give up leadoff hits. I think it was 3 times in 4 innings, plus a walk, as they were sitting fastball after the first 2 innings. The 0-1 is low, 1 ball and 1 strike. They're sitting a fastball early in the count last night on Gosman. In fact, there's 3 consecutive innings with hits plus a walk. Might they be picking up a similar pattern on Eads? Here's a 1-1, swing and a miss, 1-2.
It's nothing very surprising. It's not a pattern on LSU pitchers or Eads or Gosman. it's universal in baseball. You've got a fastball pitcher who's being dominant here, and LSU's given them a big lead by way of scoring some run early, and so he's going to deliver fastballs early in the count.
The 1-2. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. That's 5 strikeouts now for Eads. Keep throwing it for strikes, make them hit it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they'd be stubborn if they didn't go up there trying to swing at the first pitch, because he's filling up the zone with a lot of strikes, first pitch fastballs, and so heck, I don't want to get in a position where I'm seeing his slider with 2 strikes, so I'm going to swing first pitch and hope I can put it into play.
Don't believe he's been to a 3-ball count yet. Here's Stephen Loop, the catcher, 0 for 1 in the first game from the right side, and Eads with the throw over to first base to chase Morales back.
I hope you threw some salt over your shoulder when you just jinxed the pitcher like that.
Just trying to provide some information to the audience. I've got nothing to do with how Ryan Eads pitches, but I know what you're talking about.
Hey, you're dealing with a ex-superstitious pitcher, and so it's always the announcer's fault. It's never
the whatever from high atop the thing. I get it. 5-0 Tigers. Runner at first base, 1 out. Here's a pitch, swing and a miss. That's 0-1. Some work in the Alcorn bullpen from a left-hander wearing a sweatshirt. About all we can tell you. Here's the 0-1. Inside, it may have hit him. It did. Looked like it clipped him on the leg coming in, and it might have been another one of those cloth hits. Eads has hit 2. Both of them real close. That'll move Morales down to second base.
And Eads has no problem with those. Those are not bad pitches. They're quality pitches on the inside half of the plate. Just so happens that either they're leaning over, their uniforms maybe a little bit baggy where they're coming into play.
Jackson struck out looking to open the ball game. Takes a weak swing at that pitch, 0-1. Runners at first and second, 1 out. We're in the top of the 3rd inning. LSU leading at 5-0. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Pitch down and away. No balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, he's thrown the slider a couple more times this inning, and it looks really, really sharp. As we've seen some swing and misses and some bad misses at that.
Here's the 0-2. Poked it foul. Just got a piece, pushed it up the first base way. Tigers got 3 in the first and 2 in the second. Lead it here 5-0. Now the 0-2. Pitch is high. Check swing by Alvin Jackson. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Check back of the runner. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss on a pitch dancing down and away. And Eads has his 6th strikeout. He's gotten Jackson twice. 2 going now for Joshua Powell, who also struck out his first time.
You see these Alcorn State batters just really geared up for that fastball from Eads, and when he's throwing that slider, and it's sharp and it's devastating, and they really just have no chance when it gets late in the count.
The 1-2 combination of Gosman and Eads is going to be really something for people to have to deal with when they play LSU. Here's a pitch down and away, ball 1. And Kurt McCune on Sunday, who spent the majority of last season pitching on Friday. Here's the 1-0. That's a strike. That's 1 ball and 1 strike. Now the 1-1. Foul ball bounced up the first base side. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Both these right-handers have electric stuff and are able to put guys away once they get on the 2 strikes. And evidence of that is Eads has struck out 6 of 10 guys already tonight. That's an impressive statistic for his first outing of the year.
Here's the 1-2. Tapper foul up the third base side. Skip Bertman calls the killer pitch. You got the 2-strike pitch. You got to throw that killer pitch. They've got it. One ball and 2 strikes, 2 on and 2 out. Top of the third inning. Here's a 1-2. Missed outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Five to nothing Tigers, top of the third. Now the 2-2 offering. Swing and a miss on a pitch down in the dirt. So give Eads 7 strikeouts. And for the second time he has struck out the side, though he hit a batter and gave up a hit in that inning. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 2 left. We go to the bottom of the third inning, 5-0 Tigers on the LSU Sports Radio Network. 5-0 Tigers as we go to the bottom of the third inning. Due up for LSU, Nola, Moore, and Ross. Tiger fans can stop by the Fan Zone at each home game to register their child age 12 and under to be the junior announcer at an upcoming LSU baseball home game. It's presented by Bruce's Sweet Potato Pancake Mix. Visit the Fan Zone in the concourse behind home plate for more information. 7 strikeouts for Eads now in the ball game, and that is a new career high for him. He struck out 6 last year against Nichols. That's 7 here already through 3 innings tonight. Here's Austin Nola to lead it off. He walked his first time up. First pitch is down and in, ball 1. The left-hander down in the Alcorn bullpen has removed his sweatshirt. We'll try and tell you who that is. The 1-0 is down and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Here's a 2-0. That's down and away. 3 balls and no strikes.
That's number 26, Kevin Gonzalez.
Now the 3-0. That's a strike on the inside edge. 3 balls and 1 strike. Now the 3-1. That is inside, ball 4. It's an AT&T walk. Get it faster with 4G. Rethink possible. Second walk issued by Williams, both of them to Nola. And here's Tyler Moore, who kind of had a hit taken away from him with a bad throw back 2 innings ago. Reached on an error. A ball hit up the middle and fielded behind the bag at second base. Moore is from Dunham High School right here in Baton Rouge. Was a Class 2A All-State representative and the district MVP. He hit .574. Here's a hit and run, and that's going to be laced into left field for a base hit. Nola on his way to third, and Moore going to take the extra base here as the throw comes in to short. Excellent base running by Tyler Moore. Excellent hitting as he hit slice out one the other way and then took the extra base.
You know, all around good stuff right there. Tyler Moore in his first start in his career here at LSU is asked to put a hit and run play on and go the other way with the ball. He does, and then reads the throw in from the outfielder, takes the extra base, gets to second base, and actually looks like he broke his belt, so he's having to get a replacement out there from Will Davis.
And the reason we say he had a hit taken away from him on the bad throw was explained by the official score. It looked like he was going to beat the throw, but the throw was high, and the umpire signaled that the throw pulled him off the bag. When the umpire does that, the official score is forced to rule an error on that play, because had he just delivered a throw on the bag, Moore would have beaten it out and gotten a hit. So
yeah,
he's 1 for 2 and really ought to be 2 for 2, but the rules of baseball scoring kind of robbed him of one. Here's Ty Ross, who popped out to first his last time up. Runners at second and third and nobody out. Here's a pitch. Fouled away down the first base side. Nola walked to open the inning. Moore singled behind him. Took second on the throw. Catcher set up outside. The 0-1 is high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Troy Williams comes set. Here's the 1-1. This is inside. 2 balls and 1 strike, and Loop, I think, got crossed up there because he had to kind of dive after that one. And he's going out to talk to Williams.
And the left-hander down in Alcorn's bullpen, Kevin Gonzalez, warms up a little bit quicker now as the left-hander Grant Dozar is on deck here. So could see a pitching change should Williams not be able to retire Ty Ross.
He's behind in the count, 2 balls and a strike. Here's a 2-1. Fouled away first base side, evens the count at 2-2. This one was one that hit the light fixture and came straight down to the LSU dugout. You got to be careful if you're standing out from under the overhang down there. Here's a 2-2. This one is blooped out into right field, and that is going to drop for a base hit. 1 run is in, and they will hold Moore at third base as Ty Ross just kind of stuck his bat out there and did not hit it very hard, but it found a patch of grass in shallow right field, and it's 6-0.
That's what you're supposed to do when you're down on the count. And the umpires we've mentioned before has a wide strike zone, so you got to protect with 2 strikes. And he was able to stick the barrel of the bat out there and just deliver it into right field. Fortunately, it found some grass, and it was an RBI single for Ty Ross.
Now to bring up Grant Dozar. Dozar singled and scored his first time up. Left-handed batter, and they're asking down the bullpen if he's ready, and he is, but they're going to let Williams pitch to him. The runner takes off from first base, and there'll be no throw as the pitch was way outside, and Loop had no chance. So Ty Ross, the catcher, steals second base.
And that was a hit and run because you saw Dozar trying to decide whether he should make a swing at a pitch so far out of the zone. Decided not to, and there wasn't even a play down at second base for Ty Ross.
Now the 1-0, way outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
It's a case of potential the wheels falling off here for Williams as he's lost total command of all his pitches.
Ty Ross has just stolen his first base as an LSU Tiger. Those catchers cherish those stolen bases like those you pitchers cherished your hits.
Yeah, remember when Ricky Henderson got his stolen base, surprised Ty Ross didn't pull the bag out of the ground, hold it up, switch it out, put it on his mantle.
It's a 2-0. Outside again, 3 balls and no strikes, and he is 1 out of the strike zone away from loading the bases. Walk single here in the inning. 1 run in. Tigers lead it 6-0. Now the 3-0. Down and away, ball 4. It's an AT&T walk. Get it faster with 4G. Rethink possible, and the bases are loaded, and Barrett Ray is going to rethink his pitcher. That'll be it for Williams. We'll take a 90-second pitching change timeout with the bases loaded. Nobody out, and the score 6-0 Tigers on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Cable Lock Foundation Repair pitching change, raising houses, raising standards. Williams went 2 innings plus, gave up 6 hits and 6 runs, 3 of them earned. Walked 3, struck out 2. He's responsible for all 3 batters, and the new pitcher is left-hander Kevin Gonzalez. Tyler Hanover at the plate. He has singled, scored, and been hit by a pitch. Tyler Moore is at third. Ty Ross is at second. Dozar is at first. Gonzalez comes set. Here's a pitch. That's down and in, ball one. Two walks and two singles in the inning for LSU. Now the 1-0. That's a fastball strike. Evens the count at 1-1. Casey Yoakum waits on deck. Now the 1-1. And this one is popped up on the infield. Infield fly rule in effect. Caught by the shortstop behind second base, and there's one gone. That'll bring up the second baseman, Casey Yoakum. Yoakum is 0 for 2. He has reached on an error, struck out, and scored once. So the bases remain loaded, but now with one out. Runners take their leads off all three bags. The lefty Gonzalez to the righty Yoakum. Here's a pitch. High and away, ball one. Now Gonzalez comes set. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a foul tip at the plate. Evens the count at 1-1. Tigers and Air Force tomorrow to complete the weekend. That game will be at 2 o'clock. Air Force will play Alcorn tomorrow morning at 10. And what should be a much better weather day than today. Couldn't hardly be much worse. Here's the 1-1. That's a strike on the outside edge, 1-2. And if you come out early, admission to the first game is free. LSU's game an hour later than originally scheduled. Will be on the air at 1:30 tomorrow, 2 o'clock first pitch. Here's the 1-2. That bounces in front of the plate. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You can see with Alcorn's defensive alignment right here with first baseman playing in, he's going to come home on a ground ball to him, try to turn the double play from home to first. Second baseman pinched in the middle, leaving a big hole on the right side of the infield.
2-2 is fouled back into the screen. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's a 2-2. This one is fouled away first base side. Up over the roof, and the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes as Yoakum battling. 6-0 Tigers win the bottom of the third inning. LSU has the bases loaded and only 1 out. Gonzalez taking a long time. Now he's ready to work. The 2-2. Check swing on a pitch upstairs, and the count goes full. Moore off third, Ross off second, Dozar off first. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Pitch in the dirt, and Yoakum couldn't find it. And there's 2 gone, so Gonzalez came in with the bases loaded and nobody out. The bases are still loaded, but now 2 out for Rafe Rhymes, who's reached on a fielder's choice, singled home a run and scored.
Well, Gonzalez showing a lot of confidence in that breaking pitch right there with 3-2 and bases loaded. Going right back to it, risking a walk, and which would bring in another LSU run, but gets the big strikeout.
First pitch on the way to Rhymes is down and in, ball one.
And his job is to come in here and limit as much damage as he can, and so far, mission accomplished.
Here's the 1-0. Checked his swing. They say he did not go around. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 balls and no strikes to Rafe Rhymes with the bases loaded and 2 out. Here's a 2-0. Very high. 3 balls and no strikes. Kevin Gonzalez comes set. Here's a 3-0. That is a strike on the outside edge. 3 balls and 1 strike. Runners off all 3 bases. Here's a 3-1. That is low, ball 4, and that will force home a run. Tiger Walk is presented by AT&T. Get it faster with 4G. Rethink possible. So another RBI for Rhymes. This one be a full count, a bases loaded walk. That's the 4th walk for Alcorn pitching and charge that run back to Williams. That'll bring up Mason Katz. Katz is 0 for 1. He has struck out, drove home a run with a sacrifice fly his last time up.
And another extended inning for Ryan Eads to be on the bench in there. He hadn't gone down the line yet to throw, but I see him hopping around and trying to stay warm in the dugout.
Pitch to Katz is low, ball 1. Katz is looking for his first hit of the year. The last one he drove to the warning track. Bases loaded, 2 down. 7-0 LSU. Here's a 1-0. Ground ball, and that is a fair ball down in the left field corner. That'll score 2 at least, and it's underneath the bullpen bench. They're going to make everybody circle the bases anyway, but let's see what the umpire says as Katz goes into third. The fielder threw up his arms.
Well, the mistake that the left fielder made is he went and got it. Now you
got
to
once you go get it, yeah, you got to. That was a mistake. This is going to be a 3-run triple.
Yeah. He can have the ball lodged in there and have the umpire come and examine it, and he would have sent all the runners back. But once the left fielder goes in there and takes it out himself, they're going to allow that play to continue because they've got no evidence that that the ball is actually out of play.
The official Alec Box Stadium ground rules say if you go in and get it, it's live. 3-run triple for Katz. First pitch to Jacoby Jones, misses, ball 1. If the ball gets lodged under the bullpen bench, the ball is dead unless the defensive player goes in to retrieve it. So he was fine when he threw up his hands, but then he went and got the ball. It's the 1-0, swing and a miss by Jones. So Katz does get his first hit of the season. It is a 3-run triple.
And that's listed as the official Alex Box ground rules, but that's par for the course in any baseball stadium. If you go in there and make an attempt, the umpire's going to let it continue.
The 1-1 is slammed into left field for a base hit, and it's 11-0. Jones going to dig hard for second base. Here comes the, there will be no relay throw. It was cut off by the shortstop, and he didn't even bother. Give Jones a double. And an RBI, and it is an 11-0 game.
Butler had the range way to his right there. Wasn't quite down the line like Katz's was, but he kind of lackadaisically got the ball back into the cutoff man, the shortstop, and give Jacoby Jones all the credit for hustling all the way from out of the batter's box to extend it to a double.
Nola led this thing off, and now he is back at the plate. Takes a pitch outside, ball 1. Close the book on Williams. 2 innings plus, 6 hits, 10 runs, 7 earned, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Nola walked to open the inning a long time ago. Pitch is up, 2 balls and no strikes.
And now that the inning has extended even further, Ryan Eads does come out of the dugout and begins to limber up a little bit.
Here's a 2-0. That is a strike, and it's 2-1. Gonzalez came in with the bases loaded and nobody out. Got the first 2 guys without the runners moving, but then walked Rhymes, gave up a triple to Katz and a double to Jones. And so that will get the bullpen back to work for Alcorn State. 11-0 LSU is a 2-1. And this one is popped back up over the roof by Nola.
That's the right-handed number 30, Earl Burrell.
Earl Burrell.
Listed as a pitcher and an outfielder.
There's a 2-2 to Nola. Up and away, ball 3. Count goes full. Got to be disconcerting for Butler, the left fielder, when he throws his hands up and that ball goes under the bullpen bench, but the runners are still circling. Your natural instinct is go get it. But that was the wrong move. 3-2 is hit very well to left center field, but Jackson on his horse will go over and make that catch in the gap, and that finally retires the side. But LSU, 5 runs on 4 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left. We played 3, 11-0 Tigers on the LSU Sports Radio Network. To the top of the 4th inning, Gonzalez, Warren, and Butler 3, 4, and 5 in the order due up against Ryan Eads. The Pulmonary Show, presented by Capital One Bank, from 7 to 8 on Monday night, starts on March the 26th on Eagle 98.1 in Baton Rouge, and live at TJ Ribs on South Acadian. Check your local listings for the LSU Sports Radio Network affiliates in your area. In one way or another, LSU Health touches the lives of nearly everyone in Louisiana. We offer quality patient care while training our next generation of physicians. That's a great value for Louisiana. For your health, we are your team, LSU Health. Ryan Eads struck out 7 of the first 9 outs he's recorded. And here's Gonzalez, who struck out looking his first time. Takes first pitch down low, ball 1. Eads has given up 1 hit, a single. He hasn't walked anybody, though he has hit 2 batters. And here's the 1-0, and this one is hit into center field. Jacoby Jones goes over a few steps towards left center and makes a catch for out number 1.
I don't know if you noticed, Charlie, but Barrett Ray and trying to get an explanation out of Ray Gregson here as they're going back and forth a little bit, as Barrett's apparently unaware of the ground rules here at the box.
And here's Rodney Warren, who struck out swinging his first time up. And he nubs this one back to the mound, and Eads will go over and tag him on his way to first base. Tagged him about halfway to the line. The nubber was on its way to the mound, never really got close as Eads got out in a hurry and makes tags. That's 1 unassisted with a tag, and there's 2 gone. Well, again, Butler did the right thing first, but not second. Here's a pitch, swing and a miss, and it went off the catcher's mask, 0-1. When he threw his hands up, basically you got to stop, and the ball's got to be under that bullpen bench for it to be a dead ball. Here's the 0-1. Fastball strike on the inside corner, and it's 0-2. Now the 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and a very quick and easy 4th inning for Ryan Eads. That's 8 strikeouts now as he adds to his career high. 3 up, 3 down for the Braves in the 4th. We go to the bottom half, 11-0 Tigers on the LSU Sports Radio Network. 11-0 LSU as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Bottom third of the order, due up Moore, Ross, and Dozar against Kevin Gonzalez. Tiger fans, members of the Go Zone on LSUsports.net can now watch live streaming video and listen to all LSU radio broadcasts with the new LSU Sports mobile app for iPads. Official apps are also available for smartphones in the Apple iTunes Store and the Android Marketplace. Visit LSUsports.net/apps for more details. And tonight's game brought to you in part by Budweiser, the official beer of the Thirst Inning. Great times are on deck. Grab some buds. And by Chevron with Techron Care for your car. Tyler Moore is 1 for 2 on the night, and the first pitch to him is high, ball 1. LSU got 3 in the first, 2 in the second, and 6 in the third. Now the 1-0. That's a strike on the outside corner, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Now the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Took a little something off there. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tyler Moore, the freshman, in his first collegiate game. Now the 1-2. Bounces in front of the plate. You're shaking your head because you're right. He did get in the game last night. I should say his first at-bats as a collegian. Did get into last night's game as a catcher, but didn't come to the plate. You're correct. No, I brought you for something. The 2-2 is outside, and the count is full.
It's from all those years as a pitcher having to keep that dang stat sheet in the dugout. You know, I mean, he just unfortunately memorized things from the night before.
Payoff pitch to Moore, and that's way inside, ball 4. It's an AT&T walk. Get it faster with 4G. Rethink possible. Leadoff man aboard, as he has been every inning. That is 3 walks for Gonzalez. That matches the 3 walks for the starter, Williams. And here is Ty Ross, who's 1 for 2 with an RBI single. He has also scored a run. Fly ball into shallow right field. This is a long run for Powell, and he makes a catch. Almost collided with Morales, the second baseman, going out there, but makes a catch for out number 1.
One of those balls that was in no man's land. I didn't think either one of those guys were going to come up with it, but a very athletic catch by the right fielder there.
And here's Grant Dozar, who is 1 for 1. He has singled, walked, and scored twice. Batting from the left side, runner at first base, 1 down. Here's a pitch. Foul back up over the roof, 0-1. 11 runs on 8 hits and no errors for LSU. No runs on 1 hit and 2 errors for Alcorn. And we're going to see the first of what I'm assuming is going to be a lot of pinch hitters on deck right now as Evan Powell has grabbed a bat. Here's the 0-1. That is a strike on the inside corner, and scoreboard operator had already put up a ball thinking that it would have been called a ball, which it should have been. But it's 0-2. Here's the pitch. Poked it foul up the third base side and off the face, and look out. Coach Maneri was able to get a lot of people in the game last night, but it was in the later part of the game. He's going to be able to empty his bench a little earlier here tonight with an 11-0 lead. Here's the 0-2. Down and in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Look over at first. Here's the 1-2. Ground ball to second, could be 2. Flip it to the bag for 1. The relay throw is in time, and it's a 4-6-3 double play off the bat of Grant Dozar. For the Tigers in the 4th, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the 5th, 11-0 Tigers on the LSU Sports Radio Network. 11-0 Tigers as we go to the top of the 5th inning. Rosa, Morales, and Akins, 6, 7, and 8 due up against Ryan Eads. Defensive changes for LSU. Evan Powell is in the game for Tyler Hanover at third, and Bo Didier takes over at second for Casey Yoakum. Everybody else is staying put for the time being. Ryan Eads, through 4 innings, has given up no runs, 1 hit. He hasn't walked anybody. He has hit 2 batters. He struck out a career-high 8 and thrown 48 pitches through the 4 innings. I'd like to thank the fine folks at Southern Barbecue for supporting LSU Tiger Baseball, the official barbecue sauce of the LSU Tigers. And as the official bank of LSU Sports, Capital One Bank is extremely proud to cheer on our beloved Tigers in every game and every sport from the entire Capital One family. Go Tigers, Capital One Bank, the official bank of LSU Athletics. First pitch to Rosa is up high, ball 1. Rosa flew out to center field his first time up. Now the 1-0. That's a breaking ball for a strike, and it's 1-1.
And Eads' 5th inning of work. He comes out with first pitch fastball. Still has a lot of life as he's in his first appearance of the year.
Here's a 1-1. That's down and in. 2 balls and a strike. Joe Broussard heading down to the LSU bullpen. Eads is on the same 75 pitch count that Gosman was last night and that McCune will be on tomorrow. He's just over 50 now. Here's a 2-1. That's a strike, and it's 2-2. With the big lead and the cool night, Coach Maneri and Coach Dunn may opt to get him out maybe a little bit earlier than they ordinarily might. Here's a 2-2. Fly ball to right field. Katz maybe a step forward to make that catch, and there's one gone.
Yeah, and I think the cool night being the operative word there, and no reason to extend him and try to get to that pitch count. He's had an excellent night, been very sharp, displayed all his pitches. Let him finish out his 5 innings, get his work in, and call it a night.
Here is Antolin Morales, who singled his first time. That's the only hit that Eads has given up, an opposite field single. Here's a pitch, strike, 0-1. Nothing LSU leads at top 5, the 0-1. Another breaking ball, strike, 0-2.
He's really shown he can command that pitch, early in the count for a strike, which he's done there, and also a number of times throwing it as a killer pitch, or that 2-strike pitch, going for the strikeout out of the strike zone.
That's his slider. Here's the 0-2, and this one is popped up into shallow center field. Didier called off now by Nola on the grass. 6-8 steps on the grass behind second base, and there's 2 gone.
Yeah, and for the first time all night, we saw him kind of pitch backwards there in that bat. And what I mean by that is he started, the at-bat with 2 breaking pitches for strikes and then tried to beat the guy with a fastball. Typically, you think you're just going to blow it right by him and he's going to swing and miss. The guy was able to get a piece of it, but popped weakly into short center.
Here's Akins, who struck out his first time. There's a fastball, strike, 0-1. Eads gets him, and he may be able to call it a night. Here's the 0-1. It's down and away, 1 ball and 1 strike.
That may have been his worst pitch all night, and I mean that a little bit sarcastically because it wasn't that bad of a pitch, but you can see him go to the rosin bag and try to refocus himself.
The 1-1, and that's way down and away, bounces away from Ross. 2 balls and a strike. He's been behind very, very little. Does he have a 3-ball count? I can't remember one. Maybe
not
one.
since you jinxed him for the second time tonight, Charlie.
Good Lord. Here's a 2-1, swing and a miss, 2-2. Jinx that.
So far, Akins
94 miles an hour on the outside corner. Jinx that.
Akins is bailing you out here.
Like good pitch to me. Base is empty, 2 down in the Alcorn 5th. Here's a 2-2. Popped it back up over the roof. A lot of people down in the Alcorn bullpen now. Earl Burrow is the one that's been throwing the longest. Here's a 2-2. It's in the dirt. There's your 3-ball count. I don't know why you said that. Ryan Eads has been in command. Payoff pitch on the way. Hit down the right field line, twisting foul up into the bleachers. $9,881 your paid attendance tonight, 2266. Braving what has been a long day and some of the elements to be with us tonight. Payoff pitch, foul back into the screen. LSU thanks you for waiting out the rain delay and coming out to the ballpark. Base is empty, 2 down. 3-2 from Eads. High ball 4. That's the first walk that Eads has issued. That'll bring up Stephen Loop, the catcher. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. Got to wait for him to take the catcher's gear off. and come to the plate. Runner at first base, 2 out. First pitch from Eads is a fastball low, 1 ball and no strikes. Tigers took command of this one early with 3 in the first, 2 in the second, and then a big 6-run third inning. Lead it 11-0. We're in the top of the 5th. Eads comes set. Here's the 1-0. Has a fastball strike, and it's 1-1. Now Broussard went down to the bullpen, but he never actually threw. Here's the 1-1. That's outside. 2 balls and a strike. Will Davis went down there to say something, and I think what he said was tell Broussard to start throwing.
Ty Ross going to take a little trip out of the mound, settle Eads down as he's getting to the end of his night here, and has had superb control all night and run into a little bit of a bumpy road. But
I think he knew he's coming out after that bat and that batter and just overthrew a little bit.
I think so. Also it is getting a little bit chilly here tonight, and he's got the short sleeves on, and the weather could have a little bit of effect on this.
Here's a 2-1. Fly ball down the right field line. This is in foul territory. Long run. Katz cannot make it, but a diving attempt into that bullpen area where the plates are, and it's an artificial hard surface down there, and he dove face first onto that. Just came up short, and what's left of the crowd gives him a nice hand. He did not dive onto anything that was not very hard. That's that spongy turf, if you will.
Yeah, and he's going to be wet the rest of the night.
Yeah. You lay out onto that stuff and you'll feel it. Now the 2-2 from Eads. Check swing foul into the LSU dugout.
Mason's the type of player that he's not going to take an inning off here just because the Tigers are up 11-0. He's going all out no matter what. So he's always going to give you that tremendous effort, whether the game's on the line or it's 11-0 versus Alcorn here in the 5th.
Just barely missed that one. Now the 2-2. Little bouncer over the mound. Didier, the second baseman, will pick it up and throw to first. On one hop, it gets to Tyler Moore, and that will retire the side. For Alcorn in the 5th, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left. We're halfway home at the box. 11-0 Tigers on the LSU Sports Radio Network. 11-0 Tigers as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Powell, Didier, and Rhymes, 1, 2, and 3 in the order due up, and we have a Cable Lock Foundation repair pitching change. Raising houses, raising standards. Kevin Gonzalez went 2 innings, gave up 2 hits and 1 run. It was earned. He walked 3 and struck out 1, and the new pitcher is right-hander Earl Burrell. We were not provided any type of stats from Alcorn other than the first game, so bear with us. Earl Burrell was not even on the original roster that we were given, so we can tell you that he is right-handed and ready to pitch here in the 5th. Mazda, if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. Mazda, the official sponsor of the LSU Sports Radio Network broadcast booth. And Verizon 4G LTE, America's fastest 4G network and the official wireless provider of the LSU Tigers. All right, Evan Powell was 0 for 1 in his LSU debut last night, and I think we got at least one defensive change to tell you about. We'll get to that after the first pitch from Earl Burrell, which is a strike, 0-1. A new second baseman, I believe. Here's the 0-1. It bounces before it gets to the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, Charles, that's number 12, Ryant Piper, who's now in at second base.
Ryant, R-Y-A-N-T. That's a unique name. Here's the 1-1 to Powell. Breaking ball for a strike. It's 1-2. Now the 1-2. Swinging and a miss on a breaking ball going down and away. Powell fans to open the Tiger fifth. That'll bring up Bo Didier. Didier got in the game last night, was 0 for 1. Last season, Didier was 2 for 14, played in 17 games. First pitch is down low, ball 1. Rafe Rhymes going to stay in the game. He is on deck. It's a pitch. This one is hit a long way to right field. Way back, way back, way back, and gone. Bo Didier with the first home run of the season for LSU, and it is a 12-0 ball game.
He jumped on the first pitch that he saw from Earl Burrow, took it down low and in, and drove it down the right field line. Nice job by Bo Didier taking advantage of his pinch hit at bat.
You know, Bo Didier homered in his first ever at bat for LSU, and it wasn't terribly unlike that. It was a pitch that he turned on. That one got just inside the foul pole here by about 10 or so feet, and it is a 12-0 ball game. Here's a pitch to Rhymes, and this one is smacked in the left field for a base hit. Rhymes has got 2 hits in the game now. Took a big turn over at first, but will hold with a long single. Rhymes has got 2 hits, a walk, an RBI, and a run scored. And Mason Katz will also stay in the game. He's 1 for 2 with a 3-run triple. He's driven in 4 tonight. Rhymes at first base, 1 out. And here's the pitch. That is up and in, ball 1. Another pitch, and it hit him in the back. Katz hit by a pitch. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the LSU Sports Radio Network. That will draw a visit from Barrett Ray and give us a chance to get our scorebooks right, as Jacoby Jones is done for the night, and Chris Shambra, freshman Catholic High, will pinch hit for him.
Alcorn State's got number 31, Joan Ortiz, warming in the bullpen as a right-hander.
Earl Burrow, who will make our all-name team without question unanimously at the end of the season, struck out the first batter he faced and gave up a home run, a single, and a hit by pitch.
I was looking for an opportune time to put in my nomination for Earl Burrow, but
I mean, it's opening weekend. You gotta, you know, if you only get 1 out of opening weekend, you're doing good. We may have the pitcher spot filled. Shambra 0 for 1 in his LSU debut last night. We really ought to keep a running tab here next to the official ground rules and all the other stuff we tape up here in the box. Shambra from the left side. Here's the pitch. Fastball strike, 0-1.
You think these kids are too young to nickname him the Can?
Here's the 1-1. Ground ball to short, could be 2. Flip it to the bag for 1. The relay throw is not in time. A 1-hopper. So Shambra stays out of the double play. Katz is erased at second base. Rhymes over to third on the fielder's choice, 6-4. So 2 gone for Austin Nola. Nola has walked twice, flied out to center field, scored a run. They're at the corners with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning, a 12-0 game, LSU. There's a pitch, high, ball 1. Now the 1-0, and is low. 2 balls and no strikes. Harvey Fields going down, so is Jared Foster. We're going to see more substitutions coming for LSU. Here's a 2-0. It gets by the catcher. That will allow Chambers to go down to second base, not far enough for Rhymes to break for the plate. So the wild pitch. Oh, excuse me, pass ball. Opening weekend for me too now.
Hey, you know, I'm disappointed I got a weak chuckle out of my Earl Can Burl reference there.
Here's a 3-0. That's inside, and it's another AT&T walk. Get it faster with 4G. Rethink possible, and the bases are loaded for Tyler Moore. Yeah, they're too young. Tyler Moore is 1 for 2 tonight, plus a walk. Here's the pitch. And there's a strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
Yeah, if you didn't watch
well, you know, when you said the can, I missed it the first time. If you'd have said oil can, if you'd have said it like that, Earl Oil Can Burl, pitch down low, 1 ball and 1 strike. See, that's funnier. It's all in the delivery.
Yeah. So somewhere my dad is rolling over laughing right now. At least he'd get my humor.
No. Your material's fine. It's the delivery.
I'll work on that.
Okay.
Yeah, like you said, it's early yet in the season.
Well, working the kinks out here in opening weekend. Here's the 1-1. Big chopper right side. Gonzalez, the first baseman, to the oil can, over covering at first, and that will retire the side. But the Tigers get another run on the Didier homer. 2 hits, no errors, and the Tigers left them loaded. We've played 5, 12-0 Tigers on the LSU Sports Radio Network. 12-0 Tigers as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Top of the order due up Alvin Jackson, Joshua Powell, and Eduardo Gonzalez. And we have a Cable Lock Foundation repair pitching change, raising houses, raising standards. Ryan Eads leaves after 5 innings. He gave up 1 hit, no runs. He walked 1 and struck out 8, and we'll get a pitch count on him here in just a second. But the new pitcher is a sophomore righty, Joe Broussard. Broussard last season appeared in 14 games, started 1. He was 0-1, ERA of 5.19. In 26 innings, he gave up 28 hits, 17 runs, 15 earned, walked 9, struck out 28. The batting average against him, .286 in his freshman season. And how many pitches did he throw? 71 for Ryan Eads. So comes in under his quote, as did Gosman last night. Defensive changes for LSU. R.B. Fields is in left field now, replacing Ray Rhymes. Chris Chambers stays in the game for Jacoby Jones in center field. And everybody else is set. Powell's is at third, Didier at second. Were changes from last inning. Here's Alvin Jackson, who struck out twice, to lead it off here in the Alcorn 6. 12-0 LSU leads it. First pitch is popped up foul over the roof, 0-1. Twelve runs on 10 hits, no errors for the Tigers. 0-1 and 2 the line score for Alcorn. Here's the 0-1. Outside a ball. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Paul Maneri had a lot of good things to say about the fall and preseason camp that Joe Broussard had. Here's a 1-1. And this one is popped up on the infield right side. Didier will make the call and the catch on the dirt. And there's 1 gone. There's a role to fill for Broussard that right now looks like middle innings long relief, but you never know what that'll evolve into. The Tigers look like they've got their short relievers in Goody, Nola, and Rumbelow. They like to have Cody Glenn as their midweek starter. First pitch on the way to Powell is a strike on the inside edge, 0-1, but this is an important role for LSU that Joe Broussard will fill mostly on the weekends. Here's the 0-1. Fastball low, 1 ball and 1 strike.
You know, that coaches like to talk about the guy who can bridge from a starter to a closer type guy, and that's the role that Broussard's looking to fill. Is kind of that 6th, 7th, 8th inning guy.
Swing and a miss on the 1-1. That fastball had some giddy up to it, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, he's been 88 to 90 so far. Ball gets on him pretty good because he's a pretty much right over the top righty.
The 1-2 is down in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And there are those nights where your starter doesn't have it. He went in the game early against Nichols after Nichols scored 6 runs in the first inning and threw 6 innings of 1-run baseball to allow LSU time to work their way back into it. 2-2. This one is hit into center field for a base hit. Powell lines the 2-2 offering into center for a base hit.
Yeah, we've seen LSU's pitchers throw a lot of strikeouts, especially with Gosman, Eads, and Goody last night. Joe Broussard's not that type of guy. He's a guy that's going to see a lot more contact, uses defense behind him. So don't look for him to be throw up as big a strikeout numbers as the other right-handers, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be just as effective as them.
Right-hander versus right-hander. Here's a pitch. Fastball low, 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, that game at Nichols at LSU fell behind 6-0. They came from behind to win that 12-8, and Broussard had a lot to do with that, holding Nichols to only 1 run in 6 innings. Here's a 1-0, high and away, 2 balls and no strikes. Tigers have scored in 4 of the 5 innings and lead it here 12-0. Runner at first base, 1 out. Here's a 2-0. Ground ball that is off the glove of the third baseman, and everybody's going to be safe. Powell did a good job just to keep that out of left field. That ball was struck very hard, and it went off the tip of his glove. So it'll go as a base hit on the infield, first and second now with only 1 out. Going to bring up Rodney Warren, who is 0 for 2. He is struck out and bounced back to the mound. Check back of the runner at second base. Here's a pitch as a fastball to belt, 0-1. And the LSU bullpen is empty right now. Tigers probably looking to get 2 out of Broussard. Here's the 0-1. And that's a fastball strike at the knees, and it's 0-2. Broussard, the 0-2. Ground ball right side. First baseman Moore will go to second for 1, and that'll be the only play. Fielder's choice 3-6, and they're at the corners now with 2 down. Jan Butler to the plate. He's 0 for 1. He has struck out and been hit by a pitch. Joshua Powell over at third base is the first Alcorn runner to get that far. 2 outs in the 6th inning. Broussard. Here's the first pitch to the lefty, and it's in for a strike, 0-1. The wind, which was blowing pretty briskly from right to left at the beginning of the game, has calmed down considerably. Just a little token breeze now. Here's the 0-1. Fastball low. 1 ball and 1 strike. 12-0 Tigers. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Now the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Actually caught just a tip there as it ended up in Ross's glove, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the 1-2 that bounces in front of the plate. Scooped up by Ross, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Christian Hickman has picked up a bat and will pinch hit for Angel Rosa if Butler can keep it going. Broussard would prefer that not happen until next inning. The 2-2 just missed down low, and the count is full.
Those 2 fastballs haven't missed by much, Charlie. It's a good pitcher's pitch is low in the strike zone.
Warren will be off with the pitch from first base. Powell over at third. Here's a 3-2, swing and a miss, and Broussard gets out of a little jam. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, 12-0 Tigers on the LSU Sports Radio Network. 12-0 Tigers as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Ross, Dozar, and Powell due up, and we've got defensive changes, quite a few of them for Alcorn. Christian Hickman goes into the game in place of Rosa at short. Justin Perilous goes in for Gonzalez at first. Justin Barry is now in right field in place of Joshua Powell. And help me out here, Cougs, what else we got?
We got number 32, Torrey Petty, in behind the plate.
Okay. So, of the starters, only the left fielder Butler, center fielder Jackson, and third baseman Akins remain in the game. Am I right here? Let's see. Lots of changes, so we'll just bear with us. We'll get them all for you. Here's Ty Ross to lead it off. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Earl Burrell is still pitching, and the first pitch is down and away, ball 1. Okay. Butler in left, Jackson in center, Barney in right, Akins at third, Hickman at short, Piper at second, Paralis at first base. Here's a pitch, and it's a little number past the mound. Now Hickman got to go in a hurry, and he won't get there. The ball just squirts under his glove there at short, and I believe that should be a base hit on the infield. That is for Ty Ross. Look at Ty Ross. The catcher now has stolen a base and got an infield hit tonight. Talked about him losing 20 pounds in the off season.
He's showing us something tonight.
Yeah. All right, here's Grant Dozar, who has singled, walked, grounded into a double play, and scored twice. Left-handed batter. $11 hits now in the game for LSU. Here's the pitch to Dozar. It's outside by a lot. 1 ball and no strikes. Burrow comes set. Here's the pitch to Dozar. Down and away. 2 balls and nothing. 12-0 LSU leads it. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Jonah Ortiz gets back up in the Alcorn State bullpen.
He had a lot of company down there. Now he's by himself. Here's a 2-0. That gets by the catcher and goes all the way to the screen. So Ross will trot down to second base on the wild pitch.
I think all his buddies down there got to go in the game, so he's the lone man who's still waiting his chance.
Jackson Slade is taking some warm-up throws down just south of the LSU bullpen. Started last night's game. We may see him. Here's a 3-0 to Dozar. That is a strike on the inside corner, 3-1. Evan Powell waits on deck. Here's to Dozar. Strike on the outside corner, and he's run it full. Burrell fell behind, 3-0. Has battled back to run it full. Payoff pitch. Tapper foul up the first base side. The other thing, just like last night, Paul Maneri in the third base coach's box for the first 5 innings and then gave way to Javi Sanchez.
Yeah, I think he's on an early season run count. He's only allowed to wave so many guys in, and then he pulls himself. I believe it's 10.
Payoff pitch to Dozar. High ball 4. It's an AT&T walk. Get it faster with 4G. Rethink possible. So Dozar's been on 3 times in 4 trips to the plate tonight. That is the 2nd walk issued by Burrell and the 8th for Alcorn pitching. And here's Evan Powell, who entered the game back in the 5th inning. Struck out swinging his first time up. 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Righty versus righty here. And the pitch. It hit him in the helmet. He ducked and it hit him in the top of the helmet. He's fine. He's going down to first base. But it's always scary when you hear that flock noise when a pitch ball hits his helmet, but it hit the top of his helmet and skipped away. And they're loaded.
Yeah, fortunately, that was an off-speed pitch that got away from him, but anytime you get up in the headgear area, it's a little bit scary.
So he's hit 2 batters. Williams hit a batter. That's 3 tonight. What was it, 4 last night? LSU's been hit 7 times in a game and a half. Here's Bo Didier, who homered his last time up. And the pitch is high, ball 1.
Earl Burrow seemed to might have hit the wall here as his controller seemed to get away from him here.
LSU been hit by 7 pitches now in a game and a half. There's a 1-0 to Didier. Up and away, ball 2. I know what you're doing over there. They're on pace to be hit 380 some odd times. Here's a 2-0. Ground ball to first. Scooped up there, go to second, and they do not get him. He could not come up with it at second base as Hickman couldn't come up with the ball. It was a long time before the umpire made the call, was trying to see if he had held on. He did not. So the run scores. It's 13-0. I think that's going to be a fielder's choice E3, but we'll see how they rule. And we got a, and this is Arby Fields actually, who is already in the game. The base is loaded and nobody out. Pitches a strike on the outside edge, 0-1. Fields 0 for 1 last night. And the pitch is outside, ball 1. It is a fielder's choice, E3, and an RBI for Didier. Now the 1-1 to Fields. Checked his swing on a pitch down and away. 2 balls and a strike.
Actually, the stat I was looking up was how many hit by pitches LSU had last year, and the answer is 40.
Yeah, they're pacing well to bust that mark. Oh, go ahead. Tell me what's the record for a season. You got your book out. Here's a 2-1. Ground ball foul past the bag at first.
Well, you know, I'd feel bad if Bill Franquez gave us this really nice book and we didn't put it to good use.
They work very hard on that book. Trust me when I tell you, when we come in there in the beginning of football season and they're working on the baseball media guide, they put some time into that thing.
It's 209 pages.
By rule, I think. Here's a 2-2. Swing and a miss. Couldn't hold up on the check swing, and Fields fans, and there's one gone. Second strikeout for Earl Burrell. And here's Jarrett Foster. Foster last night got in the game but did not have an at bat, and this one is slammed in the gap in right center field, and that may clean the bases. 2 runs will score at least. They will wave. Oh no, they're going to hold Didier. They looked like they were going to wave him. They hold him up a couple steps down the line. It is 15-0 on a 2-run double by Jared Foster, his first hit as a Tiger. That'll bring up Chambers, but we'll have a new pitcher to face him. 90-second pitching change timeout with the score 15-0 Tigers on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Cable Lock Foundation Repair pitching change, raising houses, raising standards. Earl Burrow goes an inning and a third. He gave up 4 hits and 4 runs. 3 of them earned. He walked 2, struck out 2. The 2 runners are his responsibility, and Joan Ortiz is the new pitcher. He is a right-hander. Chris Chambers is at the plate. He reached on a fielder's choice his last time up. Runners at second and third, 1 out, 15-0 Tigers. Here's a pitch, and that's a strike, 0-1. Austin Nola is in the on-deck circle. Still only 1 out. The 0-1, down and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Tigers have scored in every inning except the 4th, and they've scored more than 1 run in 4 of the 5 innings in which they've scored. There's a 1-1. Tapper foul behind the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Righty to the lefty, Chris Chambers. There's a 1-2. And this one is smacked in the gap in right center field. That'll score 2. They're going to track this one down at the wall. I think Chambers got 3. He will make the big turn, and the throw coming in is going to be caught by the third baseman, but high and wide of the bag. It is a 2-run triple for Chambers, and LSU leads it now 17-0. Second triple of the night for the Tigers. Cats had 1 earlier.
Nice job by Chambers. He put a jolt into that one and shot it well into the right center field gap, turned on the Jets, and was able to coast into third base for his first career triple.
Give you the final pitching line on Burrow here in a second. First pitch to Nola is down and away, ball 1. One ball and no strikes, runner at third, 1 out. There's a 1-0. Ground ball is short. Hickman up with it, will throw over in time, but that'll get the run home. RBI ground out for Nola. And it is 18-0. All right, here's your final pitching line on Earl Burrow. An inning and a third, 4 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. That run is charged to Ortiz. And here is Tyler Moore. Moore has singled, walked, reached on an error, and grounded out. Scored 1 run. 18-0 Tigers. Bases empty, 2 down. And this pitch is a strike on the outside edge, 0-1. Six runs in the inning for LSU. They've done that twice in this game. Here's the 0-1. This is line on 1 hop to the shortstop. Hickman throws over in time, and that will retire the side, but LSU gets 6 runs on 3 hits. There was an error and nobody left. Through 6 complete, 18-0 Tigers on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Hickman, Piper, and Akins are due up for Alcorn State. When you get a late night craving, all you want is something melty, crunchy, spicy, or grilled. Satisfy your late night hunger. Taco Bell. Hours vary by location. And listen to the Paul Maneri Show presented by Capital One Bank from 7 to 8 on Monday night starting on March 28th. Eagle 98.1 in Baton Rouge. It's live at TJ Ribs on South Acadian. Check your local listings for the LSU Sports Radio Network affiliates in your area. Christian Hickman from the right side against Joe Broussard, who pitched a scoreless 6th. First pitch is downstairs, ball 1. Rosa was 0 for 2. The 1-0 pitch missed downstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Now the 2-0. Grounded right back to the mound. Sharply on one hop, Broussard will run over and underhanded to Moore. 1 down. Now Ryan Piper will get his first at bat after entering earlier for Antolin Morales. Piper did not play in the first game. So this is his first at bat of the season, and he takes a fastball down and away, ball 1, and Chris Cotton heads down to the LSU bullpen. Now the 1-0, up and away, 2 balls and no strikes.
You know, the first 2 to 3 innings, Myron Miller was really generous with that outside corner. He's since kind of backed off that zone a little bit, as Joe Broussard's been fairly consistent hitting that corner out there.
The 2-0 is a fastball strike at the knees, 2-1.
But hadn't got the generosity out of Myron Miller as Eads did to start the game.
Here's a 2-1. Laid off a pitch outside, 3 balls and a strike. You pitchers are always complaining about something.
That's merely an observation, Charlie.
Here's a 3-1. That's a fastball strike, and the count goes full. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. And for Broussard, his second strikeout, and there's 2 gone. Now Ryan Akins will hit for himself, as Barrett Ray's got a lot of different guys in the ball game, as does Paul Maneri. But Akins will hit for himself. He has struck out and walked in 2 trips. Base is empty, 2 down here in the Alcorn 7th. First pitch on the way to the righty. Fastball strike, 0-1. There's the pitch. Inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. 18 runs on 13 hits for LSU, no errors, no runs on 3 hits, and 3 errors for Alcorn. There's a 1-1. Fastball strike, 1 and 2. Now the windup and the 1-2 pitch. This one is lined into right field for a base hit, just past a lunging Bo Didier. So Akins with his first hit of the night, and the 4th for Alcorn. That'll bring up, let's see, we got that is a pinch hitter, I believe, Aaron Johnson. No, I'm sorry. I apologize. Torrey Petty. This is the new. Yeah, this is the new catcher that was in the game earlier. Aaron Johnson plays for LSU. Petty from the right side. First pitch is a fastball strike, 0-1. Looked at the wrong roster there for a second.
You just gave Mr. and Mrs. Johnson a heart attack.
My scorebook is a mess. Trying to keep up with an 18-0 game is not the easiest thing. The 0-1 is a strike. 0-2. We're going to see Aaron Johnson pitch for LSU. Probably not tonight.
He's another good young arm out of the Baton Rouge area.
Here's the 0-2 from Broussard. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. Good looking pitch there, and he struck him out on 3 straight. 3 strikeouts for Broussard. In the 7th, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. 7th inning stretch time at the box, 18-0 Tigers on the LSU Sports Radio Network. 7th inning stretch here at Alec Box Stadium. The Tigers lead at 18-0. Tiger fans age 12 and under, don't miss your chance to be a part of Mike's Kids Club, presented by Board and Milk. For a one-time $10 membership fee, you get a Mike's Kids Club t-shirt, lunchbox, free admission to all regular season soccer, volleyball, gymnastics, and softball events, and lots more. Sign up, log on to lsusports.net/Mike's Kids Club. Mike's Kids Club, presented by Borden. New catcher is Gabriel LeBron for Alcorn. And Jordy Snickers who entered the game last inning, will bat for Ty Ross, who had a couple of hits in 4 trips tonight. Snickers started the game last night and was 0 for 4. First pitch is down low, ball 1. Did drive in a run, though. Leading off here in the Tigers 7th, here's the 1-0. Fastball low, 2 balls and no strikes. Game tomorrow will be at 2 o'clock now. 2 o'clock, 1:30 airtime for LSU and Air Force. Air Force and Alcorn will play at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Admission is free. Here's a 2-0. Sliced it foul down the right field side. 2 balls and a strike. LSU got 3 runs in the first inning, had to look back, 18-0. Ortiz, the 4th Alcorn pitcher of the night. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Waved at a breaking ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ryan Eads started for LSU. Gave him 5 strong innings. Only gave up 1 hit. Struck out a career high 8. Here's a 2-2. And that hit him. Hit him down the lower part of the leg on the foot. That's 4 tonight to go with 4 from last night. Hit batters, that is, for LSU. Let's see. Williams hit 1, Burrow hit 2, and now Ortiz has hit 1. Here's Grant Dozar. He walked his last time up. Here's the first pitch. It's down low, ball 1. He has singled, walked twice, scored 3 runs, and grounded into a double play. Here's the 1-0. It's down and away, 2 balls and no strikes. Everybody in LSU's starting lineup scored. Didier, who came in the game in the 5th, has scored twice. Powell, who came in the game in the 5th, has scored. Foster, who came in the game in the 6th, has scored. Shambra, who came in the game in the 5th, has scored, besides the starters. Here's a 2-0. That's a strike. It's 2-1. Mason Katz has driven in 4 tonight. Didier has driven in 2 off the bench, as has Jared Foster, as has Chris Shambra. 6 ribbies off the bench. It's not bad, which is to say it's outstanding. 2-1, strike on the inside corner. It's 2-2. Kobe Jones had a pair of ribbies before taking a seat early. Here's a 2-2 check swing, and it gets by the catcher, but not far enough for the runner to advance. They say he did not go around, so the count goes full.
Chris Cotton down in the LSU bullpen appears warmed and ready to enter the game next half inning.
He pitched the 8th. I'm certain. Here's the payoff pitch to Dozar, fouled away. But the only suspense left tonight is whether Coach Maneri will let Nick Rumbelow pitch the 9th or save him for tomorrow. My guess is that Rumbelow will pitch tomorrow. But I'll let number 1 do the managing, and I'll do the announcing. Here's the payoff pitch. Strike 3 called. On the inside corner.
Yeah, Grant didn't like that call by the umpire, and probably was a little bit off the plate, but in an 18-0 game in the 7th inning, you can't leave it to chance. The umpire's going to ring you up,
First
11 times out of 10.
Yep, first strikeout for Ortiz, 6th for Alcorn pitching, and here's Evan Powell. Powell is 0 for 1. Struck out, been hit by a pitch, and scored. And the first pitch is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Snickers at first base, 1 out. Bottom of the 7th inning, 18-0. LSU leads it.
Well, I do see Nick Rumbelow doing some stretching in the bullpen. In the dugout right now. So
the 0-1 is high, 1 ball and 1 strike.
That would lead me to believe that he's going to get the 9th inning.
Told you I was going to let Coach Maneri do the managing. I was just speculating a little bit. Here's a 1-1. That's low. 2 balls and a strike.
You never know. He is a pitcher. He could be one step ahead of us and, giving us the head fake up here. He knows we're looking out for that.
What do you do in the dugout when it's 18-0 and you know you're not going to pitch? And you're not charting pitches or anything like that? Here's a 2-1. This one is slammed in the left field for a base hit. And Powell has his first hit as a Tiger.
Depends on if you have your, your stash of fireworks available. Set somebody up for a hot foot. You make up games with sunflower seeds. You dictate, each step in the dugout being a single, double, triple, or home run, and you flick sunflower seeds. And if you miss a step, it's an out. You keep score on that. You got a book for that as well.
There's Didier, who is homered in 2 trips and pops this one up. This I think is going to go out of play up on top of the Alcorn dugout. Didier has driven in 2, scored twice. Reached on the fielder's choice his last time up. So you guys were organized with this stuff.
Oh, absolutely. We had lineups and everything. We named our seeds.
No balls and a strike. Here's the 0-1, and that hit him. If LSU doesn't lead the nation in hit batters after 2 games, I'd hate to see the bruises on the team that does. That's 9 now. 2 in this inning.
For over 20% of last year's hit batsmen, in the season for the entire last year in less than 2 games, which is mind-blowing. And it's not as if LSU's crowding the plate or has changed some philosophy this year.
Well, that was two that were hit with breaking balls.
Yeah.
Here's Arby Fields, who ended the game in the 6th inning and struck out. Bases loaded, 1 down. Here's the pitch, and that's a strike. 0-1.
And unlike the 2 that Eads hit by a pitch early in the game where, they were They were glancing blows off maybe a jersey. I mean, this has gotten a lot of meat, mid-backs, thighs, helmet.
Here's the 0-1. That's a little bit high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, 4 hit batsmen last night, including the first 2 batters of the season and 3 of the first 4. 5 more hit batsmen tonight. Here's a 1-1, and that's a strike at the belt. 1-2. We started with 2,266 Tiger fans here tonight. We've got less than that now, but those that are here didn't like that call. They're still in the game. Here's a 1-2. Swing and a miss. No doubt about that one, and there's 2 gone. Harvey Fields fans. Second strikeout by Ortiz. And there's 2 gone for Jared Foster. Foster got his first hit as a Tiger his last time up with a 2-run double. First pitch to Foster is high and away, ball 1. Nobody down in the Alcorn bullpen. This is the 4th pitcher that they have used. They used 3 in the first game, so down 18-0. They would like Ortiz to finish up. Here's a 1-0. Slam foul. Up the third base side. Got way out in front of that one. Hit it hard. (18-0) Tigers. Bottom of the 7th. Bases loaded, 2 out. There's the 1-1 to Foster, and it hit him.
My goodness.
That's 6 in the game, 10 in the 2 games. Forces home a run. It's 19-0. It's a fastball up around his shoulder.
I believe that one might have gotten some helmet too.
I think it went off his shoulder and hit the ear flap. I mean, under no circumstances do I think these guys are doing it on purpose, but
wow,
that's 3 in the inning. So Foster gets his 3rd RBI of the night the hard way. And here's Shambra, who had a 2-run triple his last time up. Snickers came around to score there. Here's a pitch, and that's a breaking ball that looked like it slipped out of his hands, high and away, ball 1.
Yeah, when I was looking up the stats earlier, I couldn't find anything anywhere where they gave a either a game record or a season record for hit batsmen, at least from an offensive standpoint.
Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss, late on a fastball, 1-1. (19-0) LSU. Bases loaded, 2 down. Here's a 1-1. That's a fastball strike, and it's 1-2. I got a record for hit by pitch in a game. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, and a season, and I can't find it.
Trust me, they're on pace to shatter whatever record it is for this season.
Take your word for that one.
Here's a 1-2. Ground ball to second base. Throw over is in time, and that will retire the side. But LSU gets another run. On 1 hit, there were no errors, and they left them loaded. Through 7, 19-0 Tigers on the LSU Sports Radio Network. 19-0 Tigers as we go to the top of the 8th inning, and the top of the order due up for Alcorn State, although most of those guys are long gone. We've got a Cable Lock Foundation repair pitching change, raising houses, raising standard. Joe Broussard went 2 innings, gave up 3 hits and no runs. He didn't walk anybody and struck out 3. And the new Tiger pitcher is lefty Chris Cotton. Last season, Cotton pitched in 13 games for LSU, all in relief. He didn't have any decisions. Had a 3.38 ERA in 13 and a third innings. He gave up 11 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, walked 2, struck out 14. The batting average against him was .216. At Serrano's, the party doesn't stop after the game with the best margaritas in Baton Rouge and the finest Mexican food this side of the North Gates. Serrano's is the fiesta stop before and after the game. Go to SerranoSalsaCompany.com for more information. Weekly specials and happy hour listings. Serrano's Salsa Company at the North Gates of LSU. And Verizon 4G LTE, America's largest 4G LTE network and the official wireless provider of the LSU Tigers. Devontae Taylor hitting in place of Jackson in grounds the first pitch to second base. Didier up with it, throws over in time, and there's one gone. 1 pitch and 1 out. Now Justin Barney, who entered the game earlier and will now bat for Joshua Powell for the first time. And they want a new baseball.
And Charles, we got a couple defensive changes here. We've got number 35, Jackson Slade, has moved to left field. And R.B. Fields has moved over to right. Jared Foster is now at second base. Bo Didier moves over to shortstop.
Okay. There's a strike.
As if you needed more entries in your...
Hey, I'm working hard over here trying to keep all this stuff straight. Here's a pitch. Fouled it back. 0-2.
And Nick Rumbelow is indeed in the Tiger bullpen getting loose for the 9th inning.
Okay, you win. Bases empty, 1 down. 19-0 Tigers. Here's the pitch. Tapper, foul up the third base side. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Bases empty, 1 down. Here's the 0-2. Curveball stays high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss on a 1-2. And Barney fans. This is the 12th strikeout of the night for Tiger pitching. Cotton's first, and there's 2 gone for Justin Perales. Perales entered the game for Eduardo Gonzalez a couple innings ago. Base is empty here and 2 down. First pitch from Cotton, fastball strike, 0-1. Cotton into the windup in the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Took a little something off there, and it's 0-2.
Nice looking change up there by Chris Cotton.
Now the 0-2 pitch, high, ball 1. Tyler Moore is the only LSU player out there that is still in the game where he started. In fact, he's the only player out there that started the game that's out there, period. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Probably missed that thing by a foot. Couple of strikeouts for Cotton in his inning of work, and the Braves go in order in the 8th. We go to the 9th, go to the bottom of the 8th, 19-0 Tigers on the LSU Sports Radio Network. 19-0 Tigers as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It'll be Jackson Slade, Tyler Moore, and Jordy Snickers due up. Every day your car takes care of you. Take care of it. Don't use low-quality gasoline that can leave crud in your engine. Use the gas that cleans. Chevron with Techron. Care for your car. And you can watch HD quality live video of at least 30 baseball games as well as post-game highlights and condensed games exclusively in the Go Zone on LSUsports.net. Members of the Go Zone also have access to all live audio streams and Coach Maneri's weekly shows. Visit LSUsports.net/GoZone to sign up. Jackson Slade with his first at bat of the night takes a pitch high Well, they could call that a strike, 0-1. Slade 1 for 3 last night with a double, drove in a couple runs, and scored once. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball strike, 0-2. Now the 0-2. Missed down and away, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the 1-2 is in the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 19 runs on 14 hits and no errors for LSU, no runs on 4 hits and 3 errors for Alcorn. Now the 2-2. Outside a ball. Count goes full. LSU and Air Force tomorrow at 2 o'clock. We'll be on the air at 1:30. Payoff pitch to Slade. Big chopper to short. Hickman on a couple of hops will double clutch, but then throws over in time, and there's one gone. Alcorn has only retired the leadoff batter twice in this game. That being the second. Here's Tyler Moore. Moore has singled in 4 official trips plus a walk. He scored a run, grounded to short his last time up. From the left side. First pitch, fastball strike, 0-1. The wind up in the 0-1. This one is lined into center field. The catch is made by Jackson, and there's 2 gone.
Yeah, it was allowed out. You know, Tyler Moore continues to swing the bat well here tonight, and an impressive.
I was going to say 1 for 5, but he's probably had a better night than that.
Yeah, he's done a lot of work with the bat. You know, one of the impressive things is the hit and run that he put in play when the ball game was still in question, and that ball was struck well. So, you know, a nice starting debut by the youngster.
Here's Jordy Snickers. First pitch is down and away, ball 1. Snickers entered in the 7th and got his first at bat in the 7th. Was hit by a pitch and scored. Now the 1-0. And it's a strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Bases empty, 2 down. Here's the 1-1. That is low. 2 balls and a strike. Now the wind up in the 2-1. Checked his swing on a pitch down and away. 3 balls and 1 strike. Now the windup and the 3-1. Grounded foul up the third base side. The count goes full. Payoff pitch on the way. We'll number up the little blooper rather, up over the LSU dugout. Then they boo the fan for making the drop. They're merciless here. Tigers lead it by 19. Payoff pitch, ground ball left side. Third baseman up with it, throws over in time. Nice stretch over there at first base. Team doesn't, the crowd doesn't care for that one either, but it will retire the side as Akins makes a nice play over to Perales. 5-3 on the putout. That retires the side. Tigers go in order for the first time. They go in order for the first time in the game. Twice they have sent the minimum to the plate. 19-0 LSU leads it. We go to the ninth on the LSU Sports Radio Network. 19-0 Tigers as we go to the top of the ninth inning. 4, 5, and 6 in the order due up for Alcorn State. We have a pitching change. Cable Lock Foundation repair, raising houses, raising standards. Cotton went a perfect inning and struck out 2. And the new pitcher is sophomore Nick Rumbelow. Last season, Rumbelow appeared in 10 games, all in relief. He was 2-0 with an ERA of .485. He threw 13 innings, gave up 11 hits, 9 runs, 7 earned, walked 11, struck out 16, and the batting average against him .229. Inside LSU Baseball with Paul Maneri is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. It's aired statewide every Sunday night at 10:35 on WBRZ in Baton Rouge on the LSU Sports Television Network. Check the local listings in your area. Academy Sports and Outdoors, the right stuff, low price every day. And the first edition of Inside LSU Baseball will air Sunday, March 25th. Jordan Boston will hit for Rodney Warren to open up here. To be followed by Dominique Griffith and Christian Hickman, and the first pitch is grounded back up the box into center field for a base hit. So Boston swings at the first thing he sees and puts it into center field. Now Dominique Griffith, who is in the game for Jan Butler, who finished 0 for 2 plus a hit by pitch. Only the 5th hit of the night for Alcorn State. Here's a pitch to the lefty. It's fouled back into the screen. It's also only the second time they have gotten the leadoff batter aboard. 19-14-0 the line score for LSU. 0-5-3 for the Braves. Here's the 0-1. Fastball away. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I think Coach Maneri will be pleased with the Tigers' effort tonight. You know, I mean, considering, all day with the weather, them maybe the prospects of not even playing a game. You know, they had every opportunity to come out flat today, but they've responded nicely. Obviously, putting up a lot of offense, and the pitching's been outstanding as well.
The 1-1 is over for a strike. 1-2. Yeah, a little bit. Disappointed, he said last night, that they gave away some at-bats later in the game after building the big lead. That wasn't the case here tonight. After getting up 11-0, they put 8 more on the board, including another big 6-run inning. 1-2 is outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, I mean,
you almost can't help but do it, I know.
Yeah, but, you sit all day watching the radar, even just looking out your window, and you can't believe that you're going to play a game in that kind of condition.
2-2 is outside. Count goes full.
So you kind of let your mind wander and say, well, we'll play 2 tomorrow, and you kind of let yourself get out of game day mode. But the Tigers didn't do that.
Payoff pitch is outside, ball 4. It's just a second walk issued by LSU pitching, and Rumbelow has allowed the first 2 base runners to reach. Going to bring up Christian Hickman. Came in as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning and grounded back to the mound. First pitch from Rumbelow is a strike. It's 0-1. Runners first and second, nobody out. Here's the 0-1. And that's a strike on the outside corner, 0-2. Time is called at the plate. Big summer last year in the Prospect League for Rumbelow. He had 60 strikeouts in 51 innings, and there's a strikeout there as he overpowered Christian Hickman, and there's one gone.
Ball had some giddy up on. He reared back and just blew that one old country fastball right by him.
14th strikeout for LSU pitching. And here's Ryan Piper. He came in as a pinch hitter in the 7th and struck out swinging.
Out of the corner of my eye, I saw the K lady hanging a makeshift K, so obviously we've reached her K capacity and gone
Swing
beyond.
and a miss for Piper. Those things are heavy. Those wooden Ks.
Yeah, she's into the homemade paper. Yeah, she's got a magic marker going in case we knock out 2 more here.
Necessity is the mother of invention. Here's the 0-1. Chopper to short, could be 2. Flip it to the bag for 1, but no relay throw as Didier sort of stumbled a little bit as he went to flip it to Foster. So they get the runner at second base, but Foster didn't get that in time to make the relay throw. So Piper reaches on the fielder's choice. Griffith, the middle runner, is retired. Boston is over at third base rather. And here is Ryan Akins. I think he's the only starter still in the game for Alcorn. Takes a strike, 0-1. Akins is 1 for 2. He has singled, walked, and struck out. There's the 0-1. Strike right down the middle, and it's 0-2, and LSU a strike away from wrapping this one up. Runners at the corners, 2 down, 0-2. Rumbelow comes set. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, and the ball game is over. Nick Rumbelow pitches into and out of trouble in the 9th. For Alcorn, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on. Final score, LSU 19 and Alcorn State. Nothing. Back with the totals after this on the LSU Sports Radio Network.